lowering your risk of being good at what you want to do. So we are live, and I'm about to go over our strategies on sales calls, on whatever it is, on how to get literally no-shows. So I'm just going to go over this really quick. Not going to be a super long video, but if you are looking to lower your no-show rate, this is the video for you because, again, I've cracked the code. I get no-shows. Am I the greatest salesperson in the world? Absolutely not. But I want to show you guys my strategy on really getting people to show up on your calendars, because the number one most frustrating things, whether it is sales calls, whether it's account management calls, whatever it is when people don't show you. It's when people say they're going to be there and then they're not there, right? It's when people are wasting your time on your calendar, valuable time that you can be pitching someone, you can be checking in with someone, you can be building funnels, you can be building websites, you can improve your product, you can be doing things, right? That's the most frustrating things in the world. And I've been in this space for 4 years. I've taken thousands of sales calls. And one of the cool things is because people trust you, build a cool brand, and we've been able to do pretty good this year. But my track record speaks for itself. I've collected over $5 million for 2 different companies, including my own. So we're just getting started, guys. And I'm really, really excited to be able to help you guys out and do these a lot more often because I need to get good at live briefing. So the ultimate guide to 0% no-shows. The very first thing is to remember this. This is my theory, is if you're an average salesperson, I'm going to really focus on sales, but you guys can use this for account management. You can use this for media buying, whatever you do when you're talking to clients, which is really salespeople and account managers. My theory is this: an average salesperson, an average account manager, right, that has more appointments and more show rates will outperform a savage salesperson, a savage account manager that has a high no-show rate, no lead flow, and just a crappy offer, right? It's just a shitty offer. That average person is going to win because they have more opportunity, even if they're not that good, right? And this is very, very important to remember. And I think a lot of people miss the mark on that. So the more people that you can talk to on a regular, daily, weekly, monthly basis, the more you're going to improve, especially if your heart is there and you really want to improve, number one. And then number two, okay, you have the opportunity to do something that other people are not, right? Because when you're taking a call, someone just had a no-show. When you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, someone else is not. So this is very, very important. So this is why fixing your show rates is incredibly, incredibly important. So I really just implemented a few strategies, guys, when it comes to no-shows, right? The very first thing, a lot of you guys are already doing this. If you're not, please start doing this ASAP Rocky. And it is automatic reminders. Automatic reminders, 6 reminders, 3 through text, 3 through email. You don't need to do, you can do more. I would not suggest doing less. And it's really, really simple. It's 24-hour email and text before the call, 1 hour email and text before the call, and 10 minutes email and text before the call. That's the first thing. Now here's the problem. This is what I've noticed with most agency owners, with most marketing agencies, with most businesses that I work with, even real estate investors and attorneys and whoever it is. What I've noticed is that is it. This is it. Your strategy about making sure that you have lower show rates is literally a measly 6 reminders, maybe 8, and maybe even 10. You have nothing else. There's nothing between. I always ask people, between when the person booked the call and when the actual call happens, what transpires? And they always tell me the same thing. They tell me automatic reminders. In my head, I'm like, that's it? You only send reminders out? That's crazy. Because here's exactly what I hate when I see. I just can't stand this. So the first thing, someone just asked the question, can I repeat that? It's 6 reminders. The very first thing, whenever you have someone book a call, whether it's a sales call, whether you're launching a new client, whether you're doing a check-in call, whatever call you're having with someone, even when I book my friends to talk to on my calendar, if it's a business conversation, they're getting 6 reminders, 3 through text, 24 hours before, and 1 hour before, and 10 minutes, and the same thing on email. That's the very first thing. Very, very common. Everybody does that. If you don't, please implement that because you're definitely missing out on the easiest step. However, that's not enough. What I've come to find that is absolutely not enough. So the second thing that I do is every single person that books on my calendar gets connected with me before the call. Thankfully, I have an appointment setter right now, shout out to Christian, that does this for me. But before I had Christian, because he's only been here for a couple months, before I had Christian, okay, I was connected with every single person before my sales call. So not only am I sending my calendar links to someone, or they found our website, or someone recommends my website and they book, I immediately always text people before the call. To me, that's the most important thing. I think a lot of people miss the mark on this. Every single person that is on your calendar, whether you're a salesperson, whether you're CEO, whoever's taking calls, whether you're account manager, you have to get connected to this person before the call. The best way, here we go. I'm gonna give you guys sauce, literally sauce right now. The best way to send someone a message, and I personally like to text people, right? I personally like to be connected to them on text initially, because that's where I'm gonna call them from, so I want them to prepare that. The best text to send is literally their first name and their question mark. I see Joe on here. If Joe was booking a call with me, he would get a booking link and says Joe question mark, Sam question mark, Tyler question mark. That's the first thing. It's never, hey Joe, this is Omir from blah, 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 blah. People do that. Stop doing that. Your automatic reminders are already doing that, right? They're getting a completely different text from a completely different number about who this is from, when is the call, date, time, blah, blah, blah. They're already getting that. They're not getting the personal touch, right? And most people reply to just, if someone texted you today, Joe question mark, Hunter question mark, Sam question mark, you're going to answer. And if you're not, cool, no worries. I'll send a reminder, right? And I literally, by the way, I'm using my phone, but I have an Apple Watch too, whatever. You guys, whatever you have an Apple, a lot of you guys have Android, it doesn't matter. You guys have reminders on your phones. I will literally set a reminder for 2 hours to see if this person hit me up. Because I forget, right? I'm talking to a lot of people. I'm building a business. I have a team. I have partnerships. I'm doing a lot of shit. So sometimes I forget to text people if it's not on my reminder. So I ask Siri, hey Siri, remind me to send a message to Sam in 2 hours. Or hey Siri, remind me to check on messages from Sam. And then I'm like, oh Sam, yeah, that's right. I remember. You can write it down, whatever works for you. Okay? And then if they don't respond to the initial message, which is the first name question mark, I then send them a following message, which is, hey, is this first name, last name? Hey, is this Joe Poshian? Hey, is this Hunter C. Roy? Hey, is this Justin Sides? Hey, is this Jace Gray? Hey, is this Christian Sharp? Whoever it is, right? That right there, I promise you're going to get 100% response rate. I literally, to date, I've done this for about a year. I've never had anyone, actually I have one person. I had one person and he actually got in a really bad car wreck. So that's excusable. But besides that one person, I have not had one single person not respond to those 2 text messages. If someone texts you your first name, question mark, and then your first name and last name, and they don't respond, most likely you have the wrong number. They put the wrong number in. That is the only time. But if it is the actual person, they will respond back, okay? Because what is important to me is getting engaged with the prospect before the call. And a lot of you guys just wait for the call to start before engaging with them, okay? So number one, you must be connected. Preferably, you have an appointment setter with you. Preferably, you have someone that can connect you, right? Like Colin Butterfield, who's one of the greatest salespeople in the history of planet Earth. He has a savage setter team, right? One of my good friends used to work for him. Now he has another setter. I promise you, Colin gets connected to a lot of his sales calls with a setter. If you don't have a setter, that's totally fine, totally cool. Then you need to be the person that's connected, getting connected to your sales call, right? This is super important. I think a lot of people miss the mark on this. Now, when you get connected, so there's 2 ways, right? Obviously, if you're the one doing the connecting, right? If you're the one doing connecting, you should do some research on this person, right? Just like, hey, what are you looking for? Have you hired before, right? If they're booking with me, it's probably they're looking to hire someone somewhere, right? They're looking, maybe they have a hiring question. Maybe they're interested to see what we offer. Do we only hire for this position? Do we only do this, right? Whatever it is. If it's a coaching program, they might, if they're booking, I used to sell a coaching program. They used to want to ask me, I would ask them a little bit of questions about their business, where they're at, just so I can engage with them. The number one thing you guys want is to engage with your prospects before the call and not rely on automatic messages that will do the job, and they are very important and you should have them, but they cannot do everything. And the reason most people I see have a 60, 70, 80% show rate is because they don't engage with prospects before, right? And again, 2 ways. If you're the one connecting to the prospect before, you don't have an appointment setter, right? So after you do the, hey Joe, and they say, yeah, who's this? It's like, oh, hey Joe, this is Omir. I saw that you booked a call with me for tomorrow. I'm looking forward to talking with you. I actually checked out your website. Curious. It says that you're looking to hire this. Is that right? Like, oh yeah, right. Sometimes it's like, oh, actually no, I meant to hire a media buyer. I'm sorry, I'm just correcting. I'm like, have you hired this before, right? Or are you looking for this? I'm just trying to I'm really not trying to engage with them for 2-3 hours because we're gonna talk tomorrow. I don't want to overdo it. I just want to ask them 1 or 2, maybe 3 questions max, and that's it. Now, if I'm getting connected, it's my setter doing this, right? If it's my setter connecting me, so he's going to connect me and he's going to give me a quick synopsis of his conversation because he's been talking with this person. He might have hopped on a call. He might have been messaging back and forth, and he's going to give me a quick synopsis in that group message. It's going to be me, my appointment setter, and the prospects. Hey, Amir, this is Jeff. He's looking for an appointment setter. He doesn't have much experience. However, his business is scaling. They have about 20 clients right now. They're looking to get to 40, 60, whatever the case is. I believe we can help them. That's it. I have 3 questions that I need to hit. I need my appointment setter to hit. And if he hits those questions, I'm now great. I'm like, awesome. Hey, Joe, I'm super excited. Christian told me you don't have much experience in hiring VAs, is that right? Or, hey, Christian told me you have a ton of experience hiring VAs, is that right? Again, I'm now engaging with them. Not only did my appointment setter connect me with a prospect, with a synopsis, with a paragraph of what they're looking for and a little bit of background, but now I'm confirming things, right? And if they don't answer, I will ask the question in another way. Because again, I care about the engagement, right? When I used to not care as much about the engagement, people just stopped showing up. But when I started getting engaged with people, it's crazy because I try to befriend everybody before the call. The number one thing about sales is trust. The number one thing about relationships is trust. The number one thing about business and friendships is trust. If you can build trust, right? That's the same thing about building a brand, right? Every single person that, whether you're watching this live or you're watching this later, we all are aware of Alex Hormozi. The reason Alex Hormozi is such a freaking beast is because he's been able to build such a trustable brand in the space. Not only because he's actually scaled and done the business right, but because he has business ethics, right? And because he puts out so much freaking value for free on YouTube. We trust him. We trust that Alex Hormozi can help our business. That's the same thing that you want out of your prospect. You want to create that bond with them. And I think a lot of people don't do that. And it's the worst. You want to engage with them. Want to get connected, all right, with a quick synopsis. Again, it depends if you're the one doing the talking or if it's going to be your appointment setter. Whatever it is, there needs to be a quick synopsis. There needs to be an engagement before. And the next thing is, a lot of people ask me, I mentioned earlier, like what I like to get connected on. I like to get connected on text just because, especially if it's an iPhone, it's like, oh my God, we're on the same page. However, if you are talking to them on Facebook, if you're talking to them on Instagram, even if you're talking to them on, I guess LinkedIn can count too, but really Facebook and Instagram are the main ones, Twitter potentially. I would prefer to get connected on social media 100% of the time because they get to see my social media. Whenever I get connected with someone that's trying to sell me on Instagram, on Facebook, wherever it is, I actually look at their social media, and I'm sure everybody here, we want to actually see what's this person's brand like, right? Click on his pictures. Is he a real person, right? I personally, when I see someone that their entire social media, everything A through Z is only business, they don't have a personal life, I get turned off. When I click on someone's social media and it's only personal life, it's no business, I get turned off. What I like is a mix. I like to see that you travel, that you have a significant other, you have friends, you're doing fun things, but also you're growing a business. You're helping someone somewhere, somehow. I like to see that. That's what sells me. And I'm assuming that's a lot of times what sells people on me because I have a pretty good balance of business and personal. If I get connected, I want to get connected on Instagram, right? So seriously, guys, connect on Instagram and Facebook. Right? You're already there. Don't take it to text message. Just connect them on Facebook, Instagram. They're going to do research on you, most likely. And if they're not, no worries. And then now I'm engaging with them. And now the day of the call, this is the last step. The day of the call is where the manual reminders come in. Again, remember, you guys have 6 reminders that are coming automatically. But now this is where the manual reminders come in. Hey, John, are we still on? Hey, John, hope you're having a great Friday. Are we still on today at 3:30 p.m. EST? Right? I always like to confirm the day, the time, and the time zone. And I'm waiting for the response. And again, if it's in a couple hours and I don't hear back, I'll re-engage again. And a lot of times, the best thing to do, again, if you have an appointment setter, this is why you guys should hire appointment setters through us because it makes the sales job significantly easier, is I have my appointment setter call them, right? And I make sure that they're ready to get called. Because sometimes they don't see messages. Some people are not on the phone that much. But when they get a call, especially if they get a call 3, 4, 5 times in the span of like an hour, they're probably going to answer, especially if it's with one number. And then we're like, oh, yeah, sorry. I totally forgot. I'm not checking my phone. Boom. Then they book the call. Sorry, then they confirm. And then they show up to the call. And I know, guys, that sounds like a lot. And I know if you have 12 sales calls per day, that sounds like a lot. Now, I promise you, I'm just really, really going in detail on this. It is really not a lot. It's really, really, really not a lot. It's really just, you have the automatic reminder set up. You're getting connected to the person or you're connecting with them, you're asking a couple quick questions, right? Really confirmation questions. This is what you're looking for. This is where you're at right now, right? Awesome. And then confirming with them tomorrow, and then confirming with them again on the day, and boom. I've been talking about this for a long time, and this is how extreme it is with me. This is how I take it to the next freaking level. Okay, this is super duper important. How I take this from 99% show rate to 100% show rate. When you have an appointment setter, again, because I keep coming back to this point because it does make your life significantly easier. When you have an appointment setter, I do not count sets for them. You can ask Christian, my setter, if he does not connect me with a prospect. If I have a prospect on my calendar that came from him and he did not connect me with them, that set does not count for him. That's how extreme it is. That's how important it is for me. What's important is always before the end of the day, before in the morning, right? When you look in your calendars, making sure that every person, you have them somewhere. You're texting them. They're on your social media. They're following you. You're following them. You've done research on them, right? This is something that I can improve on as well, 100%, is I can do way better research on my prospects. But I promise you, when I did do this, and I do this pretty well, but I definitely can do this more consistently. If you can do research on the person that's coming on your call, looking at their website, understanding what they're selling, where are they based in, right? You're not going to get everything from their website, but that's why I like the social media, right? I click on their social media. I'm not going to stalk them to 2018. I'll scroll through and just see what they're into, what they're about, right? Maybe they're a football fan. Maybe they like MMA. Maybe they like music. Maybe they like cars. Maybe there's something already that we can build rapport on, because a lot of people, right? When they get on sales calls, they build literally no rapport. It's always so awkward. There's no rapport building, which is so important, because rapport, again, going back to a very important emphasis that I made, is the trust. If you can build trust with someone, which is the best way to do this, the easiest way to do this, is through finding something that you guys are both in commonly like, they immediately start trusting you, right? Whether it's football, like I can talk football for days. I can talk MMA. People always ask me, like, why do you like sports so much? Well, first off, I grew up with it. For me, it feels nostalgic. But second off, it is an incredible conversation starter. And I know if you like football and you understand football a little bit, or MMA, you're going to be mind blown by how much I know. And you're going to be like, wow, this guy knows a lot about MMA. And I have clients and potentially people that want to work with me talking to me about MMA. And that's honestly, that makes me so happy, because to me, my dream scenario in business was to be friends with as many clients as possible. Not even call my clients because I always feel like that's such a transactional term. I like calling my clients friends, and I like calling my friends my clients at the same time, but more so I like calling them my friends. Because again, this is how you build the best rapport possible, is by doing the research ahead of time. Just like if they've done research about you, how did they find out about you, right? How did you come up on their page? Paid ads? Was it referral? Was it whatever the case is? Because they've already doing research on you. Vice versa, you need to do research on them, right? Now, what happens when there's a no-show? This is where I'm going to end it off. What happens when there's a no-show? Well, because I put so much effort, not just me, but my team, we put so much effort into having you show up. A lot of times, people have ginormous egos in the space, to the point where they put the effort into have a person show up and they don't show. They're like, F this person, I'm done, I'm not going to help them anymore, I don't care about them. And for me, my mindset is, and this is very extreme, because I put so much effort into making sure people show up, right? Myself, my team, we're doing research, doing what we're supposed to. And if they don't show up, I literally think that something incredibly tragic, sad, the worst thing possible happened to them. I'm not kidding. That's literally my first thought. Is this, they just went through the absolute worst shit show of their entire life. They got in a car wreck, they had a close family die, they got shot. I'm not kidding. So guess what? Me, because I care about this person, not because I care about their money. I could care less about their money. I care about them as a person. That's the first thing I care for. I'm in the people business. I have to care about my clients, just like I have to care about the people that I'm helping get careers for, right? People mistake that so much, right? So because of that, I am now going absolutely animalistic with calling this person, right? I'm calling them 4 times in a row, 3 to 4 times in a row from one number. I'll wait 30, 40 minutes. I'll call them from another number. I have my appointment setter, Christian, call them. We call their social media, because I added them on social media. I follow them on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. We call them on there. I have even reached out to their relatives and wife, or whoever it is, husband, to make sure that they're okay. I know that sounds extreme, guys, but if you no-show me, because I put so much effort in. Again, what is a no-show? No-show is someone that literally just does not show up to my call. Not someone that asks me to reschedule, asks me to cancel, sends me an email. That doesn't count. I'm saying someone that literally just ghosts on the call because I put all that effort in. Something happened to you, you died. There's no way that I've put in so much effort. We've had a conversation. You've talked to my team member. You've talked to me, whoever it is, and then you just disappear. That doesn't make sense, right? most likely something happened to you. Let's make sure you're okay. Let me just get the thumbs up. Hey, so sorry, something happened. Got in a car accident. Hey, so sorry, this happened. That right there, guys, is the reason we have such a low no-show rate. And here's what's crazy. When someone no-shows me, because I follow up with them for hours, and then the next day, and I call them from different numbers, and my appointment setter calls them, and I message them on social media, and some of you guys even see me make postings about someone. I've literally went on a Facebook group and posted about someone no-showing me. People were laughing. I'm like, dude, this guy literally no-showed me for no reason, right? And because I do all of that, they then message me later. They then apologize. I make them feel so freaking bad, which I don't intend on making them feel bad. I intend on making them understand that I genuinely care so freaking much. I care so much that it hurt me. It genuinely hurt me. However, I'm gonna move on, right? I'm not here to, it's impossible to close the whole world. So for me, we're putting all this effort in, and this is why we have such a low no-show rate. Because even if we have a no-show, they eventually are going to pop up. There's no way, unless, again, something tragic happened to them. But because I care so much about every person that comes on my calendar, right? I have a sales call here in a few minutes. I care about every person. I don't care if you're a real estate investor, if you're an agency owner, if you're an e-com brand, if you're a lawyer, every single client. We literally work with 12 different niches. Every single client that we work with, we care for so much that we will do whatever it takes to have them show up on our calendar. And the cool part is, guys, last month, my interviewing team, which interviews VAs on a regular basis all over the world, all different skill sets, all different experiences. We're interviewing, roughly over 500 people a month right now. We're trying to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. With our interviewing team, with people that are interviewing people all over the world, we only had 3 no-shows. And actually I believe only 1 or 2 of them were real no-shows. One of them actually ended up messaging us back. And that's my interviewing team that takes about 10 to 12 interviews a day. And then my account manager only had 1 no-show that actually ended up being also an accident that didn't really count as a no-show later on. Because I tell my team, if we cannot engage with the person, we cannot help the person. That's the first thing I care about, right? And not every single person I talk to, I try to sell. Not every person I talk to, I pitch. And I think a lot of you guys are in pitch mode. They're in sales mode, which I respect, and you need to be. However, you need to get out of that mode because a lot of people feel that. And they feel the sales. They feel like, people hate being sold to. They hate it. Nobody likes to pay for anything, ever. That's just the reality of things. But they do like having great conversations, receiving value, right? Delivering value, getting on the same page, building rapport. People like that. And if they don't, you need to identify that fast, right? Because a lot of people don't want to build rapport. A lot of people don't want to sit there and blabber back and forth, and that's cool. So I'm going on a tangent here, guys. Ultimately, if you are looking to lower your no-show rate, the best thing to do is to engage with your prospects before the call, the day of the call, and even after the call, right? Even after the call. And a lot of people don't do that, and I hope today you're starting to engage with every single person that comes to your funnel, every single lead, every single booked appointment, every single person that no-showed you in the past. You're engaging with them. The reason I've been able to build a multi-6-figure business in my first year of business, completely 100% organic, is because my face is everywhere. I'm going live, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, I'm posting content, I'm building partnerships. I have a company now we're now focusing on helping real estate investors find talent in Latin America, right? I've been able to do this because my face is everywhere. And if your face is not everywhere, it's because, I don't know, you gotta ask yourself, why is my face not everywhere, right? Because I know I look like Brad Pitt without a beard. Some people have called me Leo DiCaprio today, which was really crazy. I'm like, dude, I'm not that cool. But if I can do it, guys, I promise you can do it. I'm not doing anything that's that crazy. So the ultimate goal, engage with every single person that you have in your database every single time, right? You never know who's in your pipeline. Some of the people that I've closed in the last 4 years would have blown your mind. Like lead leaders, multi-8-figure businesses, ginormous coaches. Unreal people. And it's because I went out of my way to engage with them. So anyways, guys, I don't want to keep going on a tangent here. Hopefully this was valuable. Hopefully you learned something, and I will see you guys